Hello students, Assalamu alaikum. How are you? Um, it's been a long time since we have interacted with you guys. So I hope you are all doing well and staying safe at home. So today I'm actually going to start a new chapter. I hope that you have practiced the chapters which me and Halal sir have given you to practice, the board questions as well as the short questions which I have given. And please, if you face any problem in doing any sum, please knock me on my personal WhatsApp number, which is already there in the group. So you can easily find my number and just knock me personally so I can solve your queries. Okay, so today I'm going to start a new chapter which is called fractions. Okay, for class 5A and 5C I've already taken one class on fractions, so I'll just start from the beginning. So this is a very important chapter, as you know, because from this particular chapter there will be two questions. You will need to answer one question. Also for short questions as well, there will be always questions from this particular chapter. So I'm sure you already know what is fraction from class 4. Okay, you have already solved about fractions before as well. So I'll just give you a hint. When we write, suppose 1 divided by 4 in fractional term, we can write in this way, like 1. Okay, then we draw a line, then this is number 4. Okay, so this is how we usually write a fraction. And in a fraction, the upper term, this we call numerator, and this particular term, the lower term, we call what? Denominator. Okay, now based on the type of numerator and denominator, we can divide fractions into 3 types. What kind of fractions? Number 1 is proper fraction. Number 2, improper fraction. And finally, mixed fraction. Okay, so proper fraction, improper fraction and mixed fraction, these 3 types of fraction, we can divide fractions into 3 types based on the type of numerator and denominator. So we'll try to explain what is proper fraction, improper fraction and mixed fraction. So what is a proper fraction? So proper fractions are those fractions proper fractions, the fractions in which the numerator is smaller than denominator. Okay, the fractions in which the numerator is smaller than denominator, we call those fractions as proper fractions. For example, let's say 1 by 2. Here you see 1 is smaller than 2. Okay, so this type of fraction is called what? Proper fraction. Similarly, we can say another 3 by 8, where this is denominator, this is what? Numerator. So denominator is greater than the numerator, or you can say numerator is smaller than denominator. So if the numerator is smaller than denominator, we call those type of fractions as proper fractions. So another example we can give is 4 by 7. Okay, so these are all proper fractions. So while doing, since you are following my video now, try to write two more proper fractions. Okay, next, so let us discuss about improper fractions. So what will be an improper fractions? If in proper fractions the numerator is smaller than denominator, then we say proper fraction. So what will be an improper fraction? An improper fraction we can say the fractions in which the numerator is greater than denominator. Okay, so in the fractions in which the numerator is greater than denominator, we call those fractions as improper fractions. So for example, let's say 5 by 2, you see the numerator is greater than what? Denominator. Again 7 by 3 for example, 9 by 2 for example, 10 by 7, 1 by 2, right? So these are all what? Improper fractions. No, 1 by 2 is not an improper fraction. 1 by 2 is a proper fraction. Okay, so 5 by 2, 7 by 3, 9 by 2, 10 by 7, all the numerators are greater than what? Denominators. Okay, so these fractions are what? Improper fractions. So now try to write two more fractions, two more improper fractions. Okay, alright, so next we move on to mixed fractions. Actually, mixed fraction is a fraction that comes from a improper fraction. So if you see improper fractions, 5 by 2, 7 by 3, 9 by 2, 10 by 7, let us consider 5 by 2 and 7 by 3. Okay, so how to convert improper fractions to mixed fractions? Very easy. If you divide 5 by 2, what do you get? 2 2s are 4. Then there is 5 minus 4 is what? 1. So this is the quotient. Then this is the remainder. And finally this is what? Divisor. You already know it from chapter 1. Okay, so quotient, remainder and divisor. So in order to convert an improper fraction to mixed fraction, you need to follow this way, that is Q R by D format, where Q is the quotient, R is the remainder, then D is the divisor. So if we convert 5 by 2 to a mixed fraction, what do we get? 2 is the quotient, so first we write the quotient, then what is the remainder? 1, and finally the divisor. So this way we can convert improper fraction to a mixed fraction. Okay, similarly if we try to convert 7 by 3 to a mixed fraction, we can just divide 7 by 3. So 3 2s are 6, remainder is 1. So here 2 is the quotient, R is the 1 is the remainder, and 3 is what? Divisor. So Q R by D. So what we can write? First Q, that is 2, then remainder is 1, and finally the divisor, that is 3. So I hope it's clear that how to convert improper fractions to mixed fraction. So mixed fraction is always written in this format, that is Q R by D format. Okay, Q R by D format. Okay, so I hope it's very clear. Now the next step, so try and convert these two fractions as well to mixed fraction, that is suppose 11 by 4 and 9 by 2. Try to convert these two fractions into mixed fraction as well, so that you can practice and you also know how to do it. Okay, next topic we can move on to is suppose converting mixed fraction to improper fraction. So how can we convert mixed fraction to improper fraction? For example, let's say I have a mixed fraction that is 3 1 by 2. Okay, or let's say another mixed fraction 5 1 by 3. So I need to convert these fractions into what? Improper fractions. So how can I do convert 3 1 by 2? So there is a format which we need to follow, that is, you know, 3 1 by 2, this is in which format? Q R by D format, right? We already know from here that a mixed fraction is always in this particular format, Q R by D, that is quotient, remainder by divisor format. So if we multiply divisor into quotient, then add the remainder, okay, and finally also we keep this divisor down. So if we need to convert a mixed fraction to improper fraction, we need to consider this format, that is, we need to multiply divisor by quotient, then add the remainder. Also we need to keep the divisor as the denominator as well. So if we convert this, here the divisor is what? 2 and the quotient is 3. So first we keep the divisor as it is down, so 2 is over here. Then we for the numerator part, how do we get? 2 into 3, that is divisor into quotient, that is 2 into 3 is what? 6. So we can write 2 into 3, then plus remainder is what? 1. So we put over here 1. So we can write 7 by 2. Okay, so 7 by, if we convert 3 1 by 2 into improper fraction, we get 7 by 2. Okay, so next we can see one more problem, then we can have a better understanding. For example, let's say 5 1 by 3. Okay, so this is already in QR by D format. So if we need to convert, what do we need to do? We need to multiply 3 into 5. First of all, we can just draw a line, then we write the divisor same, because the formula says divisor should be in the denominator part. So we write 3 as it is, and for the numerator part, what shall we do? Divisor into quotient plus remainder, that is 3 into 5 plus remainder is 1. So 3 into 5 15 plus 1, that is 16 by 3. Okay, so if we convert this mixed fraction to an improper fraction, we get this as a result. So in direct way we can say first we keep the denominator 3, that is the divisor 3, as it is. Then for the upper part, what do we need to do? We need to first multiply, these two needs to be multiplied, and the result which we get, we need to add with this remainder. Okay, so 3 into 5 is 15, 15 plus 1 is what? 16. So we get 16 over here. Okay, so please try to convert these mixed fractions, suppose 2 1 by 7 and 4 1 by 2 in your home, and try to practice. Okay, so I hope this class is clear how to convert fractions. Like first we have understood what is a fraction, what is numerator, what is denominator. Then we have understood the types of fraction, that is proper fraction, improper fraction, and mixed fraction. Then what is proper, improper, how to convert improper fractions to mixed fraction, then again how to convert mixed fraction to improper fraction. Okay, so I hope this is clear. Thank you. So next in our next video or in our next class, we will discuss about what, how to converting fractions to its lowest form, how to convert fractions to its lowest form. Then we will try to understand you say how to arrange 3 or 4 fractions, arranging fractions in ascending or descending order. And finally we'll also try to convert, if I have 2 fractions, converting fractions with equal denominators. Okay, so next class we'll discuss a lot of things, and finally addition and subtraction of fractions. So this will be in our next class. Okay, so hopefully you have understood this one. Try to practice and try to first understand how we convert these fractions into mixed fraction and improper fraction. Then we'll try to discuss this in our next class. Okay, thank you very much.